Hi guys. I know everyone is waiting for me on the other stream. So give me just 1 second so that I can somehow share this because I've got no clue how this works. So bear with me for just a second. I know, so frustrating. Technology is kicking my ass. Second to join to see if anyone else has tried to join the other stream, which for whatever reason stopped working. I don't know. I broke it. I absolutely broke it somehow. Still getting the hang of this whole YouTube live stream thing. Hello, Emily from Kent. Oh, hi, Susan. Hi. Hello, 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 lovely people. I very much appreciate you taking the time to wait for me. Yes, this is about, this video is going to be about the 4th house and more specifically about the IC, about the nadir, about the Imum Coeli, it's called. So it's the bottom of your natal chart. It's the lowest point in your natal chart. I'm going to keep on showing this thing here. This is what a natal chart looks like. Natal chart is, it's this little point here. Its opposite point is the MC, the midheaven. So in your natal chart, we've got 4 very important angles. We've got, on the one hand, the rising sign on the eastern horizon, the descendant, which is the point opposite the rising sign. Then we've got the IC at the bottom of the chart, and the MC, the midheaven, at the absolute top of the chart. Hello, Alice. Hello, Rita. Hello, Fran. Okay, so we've got hello, Miruna. Hello, Deus X. I'm actually very interested in hearing what sign your 4th house is in. So the IC is the cusp of the 4th house. So it's where the 4th house begins in most astrological house systems. In Placidus, for instance, the house system that I use, it's right on the cusp. So usually marked with an arrow in most softwares or on most websites, the IC is marked with an arrow. So we've got a 4th house in Aries. We've got an IC in Libra. We've got a Scorpio IC as well. I'm still saying hello to people, so bear with me. I think this is one of my favorite parts about this. I've just noticed that Alex, one of my colleagues from uni, joined. Hi, Alex. Hi, Anya. Hi, Jennifer. We've got Boris here. IC in Sag. We've got Wendy and Holly in Aries and MC in Libra. A quick little trick for you guys to remember what sign your IC and your descendant is in. So the IC, the bottom of the chart, is going to be in the sign opposite your midheaven. So if you've got your midheaven Capricorn, and my IC is in Virgo. I'm sorry, Frenchie, it's not working. It's probably my internet. My internet has been playing out recently. That's why I actually started this live stream a little bit earlier than internet thing. Oh gosh, YouTube is so annoying. It's probably got something to do with the internet connection. Everyone's now at home and just like watching Netflix and chilling and messing up our lines. I can't do anything about it, people. I wish I could do something about the buffering, but I'm afraid I can't. I'm so sorry. Sigh. 5G will fix it. A little bit earlier as well. Maybe it's better to record the video. I mean, I could totally record the video, but then I would not be able to chat with you. So what can I say? We can either have a long drawn conversation or I can record this. I will be back. I will absolutely be back. Facebook or maybe even Instagram. Would you prefer I live stream on Instagram or Facebook instead? Oh, I would absolutely send me a request, and I'm going to schedule an Instagram live very, very soon. So my Instagram account is Rocks Unbelievable. Yay! Case people, I understand that the live stream is like super poor, and I apologize for that. I know you were all here to hear about your IC. If you want to stay tuned, I'm gonna do like a quick version of the video. I'm not gonna dwell too much on it, and I'm gonna reschedule an Instagram live video for this. So amazing. Thank you for sending me requests on Instagram. Okay, so let's quickly go through what the IC is. The IC, which is the bottom of our charts here, it's this point, it's this little point here, is about our interpersonal lives. It tells us something about our private life. It tells us something about our family, of how we relate to our family, of our attitude towards our family, towards our home, towards our ancestors and our history and our heritage. And the IC is, like I said, one of the 4 angles in the natal chart, along with and the IC usually reflects our experience of our childhood, which also in turn affects the kind of home and family we want later in life, or at least the ideals that we have about our family and home later down the line. Now, the sign on the IC, so the sign that is at the bottom of your natal chart, you can see here that in this case, it's Leo, because you can see the symbol of Leo, right? So the sign on the IC expresses what makes us feel nurtured and secure. And this, in turn, affects how we show up in life. So how we show up in our public life, which is expressed through the sign of our midheaven. So what happens behind closed doors and what happens in our private life is very much linked to, is also usually an indicative of how we perceived our father. Since the 4th house and the IC, because the IC is the cusp of the 4th house in astrology, is associated with the home and the family, it also shows, and it's also a symbol of why we tend to inherit our name from our father. Okay. Now, the IC will also tell us something about how and where we live. It will tell us something about our attitude towards property in general, property, especially residential property, and also about what happens inside of us, what happens inside of our, associated with how we end things. So, for instance, if you have Aries on the IC, you probably end things with a bang. And there's no going back, and it can be quite sudden and quite sharp. So like you've just like cut to the chase, and that is it. It is done and dusted and shelved, and you are not going back. Cool. So let's go through the signs and let's talk a little bit. So the IC is the Imum Coeli. It's the bottom of, it's the lowest point in your chart. Someone's asking. It's this very lowest point in your chart, and it is the cusp of the fourth house. So it's where the fourth house begins, okay? So let's start with the cardinal signs. Let's say you've got your IC in a cardinal sign, such as Capricorn, Libra, or Cancer. Generally, if you've got a Libra rising, you might have at home, you are probably the boss in the house, and you want to have your home life very well organized, very well planned. Also, growing up, there might have been some sort of like some sense of lack up, and if you had Capricorn on the IC, might have been quite strict, or you might have felt like you were not loved enough, or that you did not receive enough affection, I would say. Because of that, you might grow up feeling that you are somehow inadequate and somehow afraid of failing. So that might be one of the biggest fears that was instilled in you because of the environment that you grew up in, even in a very material sense. So it could be quite like a poor, it can feel like a poor environment, lacking money, lacking resources, lacking love, I would say. Now, if you've got Libra on your home and creating a harmonious aesthetic at home, you also probably place a lot of emphasis, and it's very important for you that the relationships with your family members are harmonious and everyone is happy and looked after in the family. And you can be quite the peacemaker at home, I would say, if you've got Libra on the IC. It's also very possible that growing up, you had some sort of artistic influence coming from the home. And last but not least, I do have to say, probably your well-being in life, in your going, how harmonious the relationships with your family members are. I'm so sorry, Frenchie. No, I did not get to Taurus yet. I'm still at the cardinal sign. So I went through Capricorn and Libra. Now, if you've got Cancer on the IC, this is I would say, the easiest and the smoothest position to have Cancer in. You probably at home have a very genuine desire to make sure that everyone is looked after, everyone is cared for, everyone is nurtured. And growing up, you might have felt that sort of influence from your family yourself. You might have felt like your needs were being met, that you were fully emotionally supported, and it may have felt like a very healthy, from an emotional point of view, environment to grow in. Now let's move on to Aries. If you've got, you're the boss once again. So you rule the house, or your rules. And I would also say Aries in the on the IC, that growing up, you might have felt like the father was a very domineering figure, and a figure who you could not disagree with or contradict or have any sort of like back and forth with them, because they were the ones giving the orders and you were the one executing them. So someone's asking, Leah's asking, what about the aspects? Do they play a role here? So with Cancer, I see, but the moon is badly aspected. I would say yes, definitely. We have to take into account, for like a wider picture, we have to take into account aspects to the moon as well. The moon is usually associated with our perception of the mother. The 10th house is also associated with our perception of the mother. So I'm looking at the IC as a bit of a general kind of umbrella umbrella description as to how you are in private and the type of home and private life that you are likely to build for yourself, and what's your comfort zone when it comes to the home environment, and who you are behind closed doors. Thank you, Millie. Thank you. That is soundedness to the person. Not yet. I did not get to Gemini yet. We've just done Aries. So now we are moving to the fixed signs. So let's start off with Taurus. So if you've got Taurus as the sign ruling your IC, you're probably a very cuddly person at home, and you are a creature of comfort who enjoys good food, who enjoys chilling, laying back, and you could really rely on your family as if they are the pillar of your life. So you knew you could always do right? Creatures of good taste probably runs in the family. So not just good taste, but like some sort of like affinity towards the video is buffering again. Sorry, guys. The internet is a bit slow. Thank you for still bearing with me. I did say I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to try out a live stream on Instagram next time to see if it works any better. I'm also going to try it out on Facebook and see. That's what I'm talking about, Michelle, right? Good taste. Good taste and a sense of the aesthetic is everything. Okay, so I'm going to move from Taurus. I'm going to move to Leo. So what does having Leo on the IC mean? It means that you probably identify very, very much with the family that you come from. And you're probably also quite proud of your roots and your family and your ancestors and your home. And you have this need almost to feel proud of them, and for them to be proud of you. I would also say that you probably also want to build a home and to create a home and a family life that you can be proud of and sometimes even show off, because that's the area of your life in which you shine. It's also very possible that you perceived the father growing up as someone who would build your throne. Oh no, someone's saying that I'm shouting. I'm sorry, I'm not shouting, guys. This is how I talk. I did do Aries. Yes. I don't know about 5. What can you do? I thought I'd give you guys something since you are already here. All righty. So sorry, Yesha. Sorry. Now, if you had to get over, there might have even been like a feeling growing up that there are secrets and mysteries and things hidden about your family, about your past. You might have even gone through quite the emotional crises growing up. There might have been like some sense of like continual emotional upheavals. The father figure may have been perceived as someone who was very powerful, but also sometimes threatening to an extent. And you probably grew up having a very strong awareness and perception of trauma. Now, if you've got Aquarius on the IC, I've got to say, no matter how you show up in the world, at home, you are probably quite wacky and you really allow that freak flag to fly high. And I also want to say that with Aquarius on the IC, you might feel like your friends are actually your family. Growing up, you might have felt a little bit like a stranger in the home or in the family, reluctant to put down roots. And last but not least, growing up, you might have been part of a bit of an unusual home setting, an unusual home life, even something like a utopian community, let's say. Now, last but not least, let's move to in which you grew up in. Might have been a place where a lot of people would come together. They would come and go frequently, almost like a wide range of interests, someone very intelligent, someone very skilled at communicating. Now, with Virgo on the IC, inside the house, and in your private life, you are probably very strict with yourself, and you probably have very high standards and expectations from yourself. And in private life, you are much. You probably also enjoy working from home, and you can work from home quite a lot. And last but not least, deep down inside, you've got a very, very critical nature, and it's geared towards yourself more than anything else. I've got to say, I've got my IC in Virgo, and my my dad is a Virgo sun. Again, the IC can also be associated with our perception of the father. Too many restrictions, and I would say that may have resulted in you having this expansive, free spirit who wants to like travel and explore cultures. And I also have to say, it's very likely that you will grow a lot more optimistic in the second part of your life, because the IC also tells us something about our attitude towards life after the age of 40. It's also possible that your childhood involved quite a bit of traveling, especially abroad, or you might have grown up in a very religious family, because let's not forget, Sagittarius is also the sign that is associated with religion. And last but not least, if you've got Pisces on the IC, then early in life, you might have felt like there was some sort of like sacrifice required from you. Maybe you felt a little bit like the victim. Maybe you perceived your father as being the victim. Maybe there was a parent who was going through some sort of, I would say you would probably be very, very happy to live by the water, by the sea. And last but not least, with Pisces on the IC, it might take a while for you to find your roots in this lifetime. And you might feel this need to be in search of a broader identity. Megan, you've got Capricorn IC. Yes, we did talk a little bit about that at the beginning. Lovely people, thank you for follow-up, like I said, with live streams on some people, some comments. I just don't get it. Follow me on Instagram. Also, follow me on Facebook, Written in the Stars by Rux and Written in the Stars community. So Written in the Stars by Rux is my page. Written in the Stars community is my Facebook group. So join the private Facebook group for us to have astrological chats. So I'm also going to, and hopefully technology is going to help us more next time. Don't trust Facebook. Oh gosh, I know exactly what you mean, Mr. Unmatchable, but what can we do? They kind of already pretty much rule the world, so. There's no book sliding up my shelf. No, it's in the same position. Scorpio on the IC. There could have been an experience of some sort of like trauma growing up, or like an experience of like secrets and mysteries, or trauma and pain associated with the ancestors, with the roots, with the family. Let me list my Facebook links. Dun, 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 dun. Follow me on Facebook. Facebook group that you can join. Also my Facebook group. to join. There it is. Thank you, Mary. Possibly growing up in a religious family, possibly growing up in a family where there wasn't too much groundedness, there weren't too many, also a need to make a home of the world and to find roots in various places. He is in. Miruna, I am going to contact you separately. Don't you worry. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much, lovely. So we still need it in our lives. Once again, thank you. And follow me on Facebook and Instagram because I will be back and I'm going to record videos for YouTube next time. Bye.